The Juniper Tree. Long ago, at least 2,000 years, there was a rich man who had a beautiful and pious wife, and they loved each other dearly. However, they had no children, though they wished very much to have some, and they didn't get any. In front of their house, there was a courtyard where there stood a juniper tree. One day in the winter, the woman was standing beneath it, peeling herself an apple, and while she was peeling the apple, she cut her finger and the blood fell into the snow. "Oh," said the woman. She sighed heavily, looked at the blood before her, and was most unhappy. "If only I had a children as red as blood and as white as snow." And as she said that, she became quite content, and felt sure that it was going to happen. And then she went into the house, and a month went by, and the snow was gone, and 2 months, and everything was green, and 3 months, and all the flowers came out of the earth. In 4 months, and all the trees in the woods grew thicker, and the green branches were all entwined in one another, and birds sang until the woods resounded, and the blossoms fell from the trees. Then the 30 month passed, and she stood beneath the juniper tree, which smelled so sweet that her heart jumped for joy, and she fell on her knees and was beside herself.
When the 6 months was over, the fruit was thick and large, and then she was quiet still. And after the 7th month, she picked the juniper berries, and then ate them greedily. Then she grew sick and sorrowful. Then the 8th month passed, and she called her husband to her, and cried. And she said, "If I die, then bury me beneath the juniper tree." Then she was quite comforted and happy until the next morning, once next month was over. And then she had a child as white as snow and as red as blood. Then she saw it. When she saw it, she was so happy she died. Her husband buried her beneath the juniper tree, and he began to cry bitterly. After some time, he was more at ease, and although he had still cried, he could bear it. And some time later, he took another wife. He had a daughter by his second wife, but the first wife's child was a little son, and he was as red as blood and was as white as snow. When the woman looked at her daughter, she loved her very much. But then she looked at the little boy, and it pierced her heart, for she thought that he would always stand in her way, and she was always thinking how she would get the entire inheritance for her daughter, and the evil one filled her mind with this until she grew very hungry with the little boy, and she punished him from one corner to the other and cuffed him there until the poor child was always afraid. For when he came home from school, was there nowhere he could find any peace. One day the woman had gone upstairs to her room when her little daughter came up too, and said, "Mother, give me an apple." "You may have an apple after you finish all your homework, but I'm hungry now. It will be your reward." "Fine." Marlene stormed out of the kitchen. As Ava, the housemaid, was sweeping, Charlie walked into the house. "Good evening, Mrs. Adams." "Hello, Charlie. How was your day at school?" "Stressful, Mrs. Owens." "It was stressful. Miss Owens was giving us a project that was due in 2 days." "Hello, Charlie," said Marlene as she walked by her. "I'm very hungry," said Charlie. "Mother, may I eat an apple?" "No, the room is filthy. I want you to clean it up now. And when you are done, cut the grass." "But Mother, it is pouring rain."
"No complaints. Do what you say before you are ground." The anger raged through her eyes. She truly did not have hate for her stepchild. The time passed until it was almost dinner. Richie just arrived at home. What a long day it had been, and I'm exhausted. "Looking for you, Mr. Quinn." "There is in just 10 minutes." "Sounds great. Where's my son?" He has not greeted me. He's just doing a favor, called out Lucy from the kitchen. What kind of favor? Just some cleaning. I'll call him in for dinner. You want to see him drenched in water. Dinner's ready. Come over her now. Charlie slowly walked over. Get over her, she said in a harsh tone, grabbing him by the ear. Don't tell anything to your father or else. Monday came and it was time for her to leave for business. It's sad, but I must leave now. I'll see you children by the 21st, so keep track of the days. He said his goodbyes and all responsibilities to take care of the children was Lucy. The day passed, but Lucy's mood hasn't changed. She felt anger. Any movement she had, she would force Charlie to do unnecessary work. It got to the point where he had to scrub the floor with a worn-down toothbrush. Mother, why must I do all this labor? Be quiet. I did not want to hear complaints. Mother, I'm his father. I've had enough of you. Go out and sleep with the dog. Charlie gets kicked out of the house by Mother and is forced to sleep outside. He finds a tree to sleep next to and slowly falls into deep sleep.
He awakes, but what he sees is not reality. Where am I? In the distance is a glowing object, slowly moving closer. Hello, Charlie? Where are you? Oh, my son, you need to hear what I am about to say. But who are you? This is not enough time. You will find out soon. What I am about to say is very important, so listen closely. Your stepmother, she wants to kill you. She sees this as an opportunity to do it tomorrow, at exactly 12 a.m. Before she does this, feed her this apple. It is filled with deadliest poisons. Give it to her, and you shall be free. Goodbye now. Charlie awakens from the dream, realizing that he has an apple in his hand. He waits until exactly 11:55 to give her the apple. Mother, I found a delicious apple tree, and I wanted you to taste this apple. I do not see why not. I am quite hungry. As she eats the apple, the effects immediately hits her. In just seconds, she hits the ground. Madine sees this. Mother, what has happened to you? Mother wakes up. She is as pale as a ghost. Charlie, what happened? She must have got a reaction with the apple. I am afraid it is too late. The night it was silent. The rest of Quinn's family never spoke of this incident, and all remained quiet at the Juniper tree.